Hi, and welcome to Conversations and Cocktails. Today's guest is Tiana Duncan. And if you like this video and you think powerful women are fucking awesome, then you should follow me and push my button. Hi, and welcome to Conversations and Cocktails. Today's guest is Tiana Duncan. Yes, and Tiana Duncan picked a spiced backyard tea, which is basically an Arnold Palmer with spiced rum. So delicious. Cheers. I'm having some.
It's nice.
It's good. Mm-hmm. It's really good. Good for a hot day. It's hot today. Just yeah. So I'm having more.
Go ahead. Enjoy yourself.
Okay. So I know Tiana. I've known Tiana since
almost a year.
Yep, almost a year. Last September, we were in a business class together, and it was in September, and that was my birthday. So we're one day apart.
Yes.
I'm the 12th of September. You're the 13th of September, and it was what was great was we saw that our organizational skills were similar. Very Virgo. And it was awesome because there we were like, oh, look at my calendar, look at my calendar, look at my pen. You know, like, all the things, right? Yeah. We were nerding out.
Yes, we were.
Yeah, it was good. So you have two businesses. You have a nonprofit, Duncan Connection.
Yes.
Where you are helping children, youth all around the Pacific Northwest area in swimming because you were a professional swimmer?
Yeah, I did competitive swimming since the age of 6.
Since the age of 6, yes. And then another business, a for-profit, to help support the nonprofit, right? And that is Massage Fit.
That is correct.
And that is in the Pacific Northwest, but in Seattle, Tacoma, and Portland, Oregon, right?
Yes, we're slowly doing expansion. This past April, I did a soft opening in Portland where I saw a need and we got some good traction, and we know that in the future that this is where we're gonna be next. So.
Right, okay. First I want to know about your nonprofit. So one of the things that I love is that you bring swimming to the children instead of children having to go to the pool, because there's some underserved communities that your nonprofit really, kind of focuses on. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So the Duncan Connection, we focus on 3 tiers. So swimming is one of them where we work on water safety education too, which is very important, right? So it's not just about learning how to get in the water and swim, but how do you stay safe around water? And other parts is physical fitness and holistic wellness. All 3 of those are part of my background. As you know, I'm a competitive swimmer, been doing that since the age of 6. But the other component is I went to massage therapy school at the age of 17 and got my license. We graduated around when I was 18. It's like a 1.5-year program. Right? And part of that, I realized that we naturally can recharge and rejuvenate ourselves naturally without all type of Western medicine. And so I wanted to share that information with the community. And the other part is physical fitness. That is just something I grew up with. I understand that taking care of the body, it's just not just exercising, but you also need to eat well. You also need to make sure you're taking care of your spirit in whatever form and fashion that may look like for you. And so I just found that those 3 components is something I wanted to give back to the community and just provide different resources and find whichever one resonates best with them to actually participate in.
Yeah, so I see, because I follow you on Instagram, of course. I want to just really quickly say, she does great food stuff on Instagram. I mean, I really like the different alternatives and such. I really appreciate that. And I noticed you do community walks.
Yes.
Yeah, so tell me about that.
That's how we got started. So we just started with walking in the community. I'm an early bird, so I just thought that it would be a great opportunity just to get up early, get some people in the community to just walk and talk without the pressure of having to run or be at this certain fitness level to feel like you need to be at this form of activity. Let's take spin, for example, because a lot of people might get very intimidated by spin. So we started with this walking program, just an hour of walking, socializing, and slowly I started implementing new different techniques of walking, like taking care of your posture. Are you keeping your shoulders down and back as you walk? Are you gliding? Do you feel yourself smiling as you walk and talk? And so eventually that started to turn into into a program called Social Fit Boot Camp, and then we started spinning other programs season after season. We're a season-based program.
Okay.
Majority of our programming is outdoors, so about 75%, and there's 25% where we're actually indoors, and that's my favorite program. It's called Mixed Fit, and some people might think of mixed fitness, but it's Mixed Fit stands for a variety of the fitness classes that we're able to showcase other small businesses within the south end of Seattle. And they're coming to volunteer their time, show the community what they're offering, and these classes are literally around their price range. Because we know that a yoga class or a pole dancing class or Zumba can be pricey. So these teachers are coming in teaching for free for $5.
Oh, wow.
$5, that's all they have to pay.
Wow. I mean, that's
Yeah.
less than my coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. Thank you so much for providing, providing socialization, wellness, and community, and for an affordable price.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
yeah.
my pleasure. I really, honestly, at the end of the day, the Duncan Connection, we believe that it's our human right to have access to understand how to take care of our bodies better, have different ways to take care of our bodies. That might be through acupuncture, chiropractic work, massage therapy. That can be through just therapy itself, right? And the other part is everyone should learn the skill of swimming and understanding how to stay safe. I mean, those are life skills. Like I tell my teenagers all the time, as they get older, the couple of things that I tell them that one, they need to learn how to save their money. Once they understand how to save their money, they need to learn how to budget. Once they learn how to budget, then they need to learn how to invest their money so their money can start working for them. And the last thing I talk about is making sure that they keep their lifeguard certification up to date. Because literally, when they go off to university, they can get a job anywhere in the world with having that lifeguard certification. I went down to Australia, and if I was smarter and I thought this through, I could have got a working visa and a holiday visa and picked up a lifeguarding job while I was down there for 6 weeks.
Right.
You know, it's that simple.
Right. Now, tell me a little bit more, because I think that your swimming program is it's unique.
Yes.
In that, I mean, you go into apartment complexes. Is that correct?
Yes.
So not a public, not the city part, not the parks, not the YMCA. Literally, you bring your program into an apartment complex.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So we partnered up with some communities that saw a need, right? And this company that we worked with called Urban Family Center, they actually provided a day camp on site for their community because they have a lot of immigrant families. We're talking like West African, we're talking Middle Eastern, and then also we have a couple of some black populations, some white populations in there too as well. They provided an after-school programming because they noticed that the kids were being restless, right? They've never had a swim program offered. So a beautiful friend connected us together, and I was like, look, this is what I can offer you, and this is why it's important. You guys have a pool. You shared with me that you had some incidents that weren't favorable. Let's make sure that we can provide this community with an opportunity to learn how to swim, even if it's at the very basics. So last summer, we had an amazing opportunity to serve 60 kids.
60.
0.
Nice.
6-0. Agings from the age of 6 years old, and our oldest was about 15. The beautiful thing about this, all the kids learned how to swim. They felt safe and felt confident in the water. Their parents got to see this transformation over 6 weeks of time. So they got 3 weeks of swim lessons, 30 minutes each. Their class sizes were only about 4 students total with every teacher, right? And you don't see that a lot, right? So they're getting this one-on-one training, and the most beautiful thing that transpired, there's a couple of things. The first thing is I got a whole bunch of volunteers, some teenagers that are a part of a USA swim team, decided to volunteer their time over the 6 weeks, right? So they're getting A1 applesauce swimmers to help them out. And then the second thing is seeing the campers swim encouraged the actual camp counselors to come and take swim lessons too during their campers' time. So we got to see this constant feeder program of everyone having that eagerness to wanting to learn how to swim. And there's nothing like having someone that looks like you teaching swim lessons too as well. And that was just another component. And I know I shared this story the last time we taped, but a young lady, she's Muslim, she came in her swimsuits, and we believe in making sure the kids come in whatever garment that is comfortable for them, respecting all religious and cultural boundaries. So she came in her hijab, and she ran up to me and she was like, teacher, 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 because that's all they call me is teacher, teacher. And she told me that she could really swim. And I was like, girl, yes, I know you can swim. I watch you swim in the deep end all the time. She was like, no, I can really swim. So she was explaining to me that her mom took her to a community center. And most community centers, they go from 3 feet down to 12. She was able to pass the swim test and swim in 12 feet. And that's, to her, was really swimming.
Because it wasn't with you.
Exactly.
It was outside.
Exactly. Exactly. And so we high-fived, dapped each other up, and I was like, that's what I'm talking about. And so she was so proud. And that was like within 4 weeks of the program.
Wow.
Yeah. So when you're giving kids that just the opportunity, they're going to grab to that. And as you see that as adults, you get inspired to try it yourself. And then other adults get inspired by other adults. And so it becomes this beautiful ripple effect that I was watching happen. So, yeah.
So beautiful. And thank you so much for changing lives.
Yeah.
Okay, now tell me about your for-profit and your expansion and and 17 years old, you went to massage school at 17, girlfriend?
Yeah.
You are like motivated.
Virgo. So I started a company, and it was based around needs. I try to find needs that are happening in the community. So Massage Fit started by default. I was working for a company who's now my client. I was watching their technicians, and being an overachiever, I was checking out their technicians of how they're holding their body, and I knew, like, longevity wise, they're going to have high turnover. So I approached the owners with some recommendations. They just told me to write a proposal, and that's how my company started.
Wow.
I went to another company, had a really great in. They connected me, proposed what I saw going around in their office space, and told them how I would be able to elevate their production level, help decrease time, cost of call out, sick time, and also elevate employee morale. Because we're in a space where companies actually need to care about their employees if they want exchange for better productivity, right? And so what I did is I provided a fitness class, 45 minutes, I call it Adult Recess. And then they get an hour worth of chair massages every Wednesday. And this is a weekly program that they establish within their culture. From there, I've been pitching to other companies and slowly doing like one-off programs, like retreat centers where companies bring me in to provide movement, chair massages. I've done opportunities for special events. And so right now we're at a place where we're just pitching to more companies to provide this in the workplace. The city of Renton's actually interested, and then also Seattle Parks and Recreation. We're talking with their parks and maintenance program to see if we can start adding that into their staff meetings, where they're actually having some form of fitness while they have a staff meeting. So that means during that 15-minute break they normally go and use the restroom or to chit-chat, why not do some stretching exercises? Right?
Beautiful.
So that's where we currently are. I've had amazing opportunities from that. I did a pitch competition this last March with Ventures, and it's called Ventures. Got down to the top 5 finalists and did amazing. Thank you. Yeah. And what I asked for out of that competition was more exposure, working with a brand strategist, and then also working on trademarking. And after that, I've been able to start the process of trademarking my company's name. I'm also working with a brand strategist to give us more of a clean, finished look, more polish. And then the last thing is I'm getting a lot more exposure to as well, which is beautiful.
So I have this thought. I'm thinking all of a sudden it's like, chair massage. A friend of mine contacted me and said, hey, I have a family friend who is in crisis at the hospital and is spending like 24/7 at the hospital by their patient's side. And do you know anybody with that does chair massage in hospital? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I should have. Yes, I know. Now that I'm just like, this is all unfolding in my mind. And at the same time, like, since you do chair massage, is that hospitals are a place, like, I had never even thought about it. And I have recently had a time where my aunt was by my uncle's side until he passed. Like, I never even thought to hire somebody to come in and do chair massage in the hospital room, because usually it's a solo person in the room. And
the thing about Massage Fit, I wanted to take the inconvenience out of self-care, right? It shouldn't be this huge task that we put on our to-do list and then we keep moving it weeks and weeks back. Right. I want to come to where you are. And that's the beautiful thing about our services. We come where the most inconvenient places are. Like, I have a client who can call me up and, like, I'm at a park and I need a workout. I can meet you there. You only have 30 minutes between your next meeting and you need a break. We can set up a chair massage right in your conference room. That's the whole point of our company. Another component which I'm excited to roll this out, and you'll be part of this too when we do the pilot program next fall. But we're going to provide wellness parties in the privacy of your home.
Beautiful.
So call up your best friends. You want a spa package? That might be nails, hair, catered food, a yoga class, meditation, sound bath. We can provide that for you right at home.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice, nice,
So
nice.
we'll be rolling that out next year.
Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be part of that. And oh my God. Yes, yes. My brain. I'm moving to Vashon Island.
Yes.
Like weekends of that.
Yeah.
I want weekends of
Right?
that. Yes.
Right?
Retreats.
And,
Yes.
and I just want to make sure that people understand that, self-care doesn't need to just always be massage or always fitness. But we want to be able to find something that's going to look good for you at the end of the day.
Right. Whatever that is.
Because life is not going to get any less chaotic.
No, it's
Right?
not. No,
And the
it's
most
not.
important thing is we got to start taking care of ourselves and put ourselves first.
Okay.
Because we're obviously seeing what happens when we don't put ourselves first, right?
Yeah. Yes, we are. Right.
In all aspects.
Right, right. So speaking of struggle and
Yeah.
not putting yourself first, where you're at is, very successful, always moving forward, always striving to be the best. Along your path,
Yeah.
where have been some of the struggles and places where there's been roadblocks that you've had to overcome to get to where you're at today? Like
Yeah.
some fear points and things like that. Because it's
Yeah.
not, people see us and it's like, oh, they're so lucky from bottom to top. Look,
Yeah,
she was a
flawless,
swimmer. She at 17 and now, look at
yes.
her. But they don't know that it's not easy, right?
know.
Yeah.
I have to say it's constantly a challenge breaking society's norms, right? Society wants to tell us that, all right, if you show your body online, then you're easy, or you're not modest, or if you're modest, then you're conservative. And it's been a really tricky balance to find my voice. And that's the thing. I lost my voice when I moved here. I lived in Atlanta for 7 years. And I worked in an environment where we embrace directness and transparency. And when I came back to Seattle, even though I'm born and raised here, when I came back here, people are afraid of being transparent and direct. And they internalize that as you're being aggressive or you're being rude. And I got deemed as the angry black woman. And I was like, that's not me, but with those insecurities that I had, I took that on. And so I lost my voice. And I started to put together projects and present myself in a way that wasn't authentic to myself, to the point where I was just like, you know what? With practice, and this took a long time, like even through my leadership class, like I had to work through like finding my voice again and not feeling like being stifled. I found it again, and I'm playing with it, and I feel like it's a lot more stronger. And I'm just like, I'm not taking no shit. Like, West Seattle people, this passive aggressiveness, y'all gotta get over it. Because us transplants people, I consider a transplant because I've been gone for so long. We're here, and we ain't gonna take no shit. So get out the way. And it's still gonna be this constant battle of being tactful in your words without being too foofy. But at the same time, we gotta be real.
Right.
And the more we can be real and have those narratives and when I'm making you feel uncomfortable, and you can say, I'm uncomfortable with that, and I don't know what it's bringing up for me, but can we have a conversation around that? That's where I hope we can move to, like literally, because that's the next step. And I know we're not there yet, but I hope we can get there very soon, because my mother and I were having this conversation this morning about how we live in a society that we all have to be polite.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
this
we are
overness
polite.
of being polite.
Yes, we are
and
polite.
And if I don't share a lot about my life with you, then I'm deemed to be closed off or rude or all these other things that you want to project on me, and that's not true. Like, I'm gonna come to work and do my job and go home.
Right.
And I choose to invite you in my life if I want to, but it has nothing to do with you, but we choose to personalize it.
Personalize everything. And I don't think it's just, in Seattle we are overly polite.
Yes.
And which is why we have the culture of passive aggressivity. It does happen. But I think all in the United States, we are narcissistic. We're a narcissistic society where everything is about us. So you're not telling me your story. You don't like me. You don't. So I don't like you. Because I've just decided you didn't like me because you didn't tell me your story. Right? It's
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, like neuroses.
Yes.
Yeah, I love the idea of instead of going to anger, whether we are angered, and polite about it, and then do that squeaky passive aggressive
Yeah.
stuff, or angry and bullying and just angry. Being able to stop and analyze
Exactly.
our internal self and say, I feel uncomfortable, I feel hurt, I feel whatever it is that we feel, to be able to have open and honest conversation.
Yes.
That is what I love about you. Truly. I mean, truly, since that point of us knowing that, I don't know, we were kindred at some,
I know, right? And then find out we Virgos. So it's like, oh, it makes so much sense.
I love it.
God, I mean, that's like the most challenge. And I feel like even as I grow and develop and age, that's always going to be a challenge for me, is to find my voice, right? To find my voice and staying true to my authenticity of who I am and my beliefs, right? Without being like swayed by society.
Where the box we've been put
right?
in. Yes. I mean, I'm a middle-aged white woman. I am put in a box. I am put in the, like, oh, that spiritual, privileged person over there. You know? Here's my box. I get to live it. It's like, fuck that box. I don't really
Exactly.
like that box. Look at my boobs. You know?
Yeah.
I am
And
not
you
who
can
you
do
say I
that
am.
as a way of, you know, celebrating you without it being deemed as you're slutty and you're this and you're that, which I feel like is some straight bullshit.
Yeah.
Literally. Huh?
Yeah. So now, as a female,
Yes.
and from your culture of origin, your own personal culture of origin, how has that helped you or hurt you get to where you're at today?
Ooh, girl, you about to go there, honey. So we're having a conversation right now where the fact that I believe in, I want to hang out with people who love to have a good time, celebrate being authentically themselves. I don't collectively care if you white, Asian, if you're an able-bodied, if you're binary, non-binary. I don't care who you are. I connect with the character of the individual, right?
The inside.
Sometimes in my culture, I can be seen as anti-black.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, by my own people,
Okay,
right? And
okay.
and that's an interesting narrative that's currently I've been made aware of in the past couple of months. And I find that kind of hard, right? It's kind of like, no, I'm not anti-black. I love my culture. I love my people. But that doesn't mean I don't want to connect with other people who are like-minded at the end of the day. Culturally, I'm meant to be strong and to hold my feelings and to take the shit of the world and not say nothing about it. But no, I'm gonna call you out. If you white and you privileged, I'm gonna call you out on it. If you Asian and you privileged, I'm gonna call you out on it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone should be excluded from the conversation. If I see that there's injustice being done, I'm gonna speak on it, and that's you to deal with it and do the work at the end of the day, right? I'm not here to do your work. You're here to do your own work on this time on this planet, because we all have a ticking time clock, regardless if we're gonna make it to 100 or if we're gonna make it to 42.
God,
So-
I love you. I mean, I do. I love you with my whole heart. I do.
Yes.
The authenticity
Yeah.
of being on this planet.
Yeah.
I mean, and being able to be real and to connect
Yeah.
from the internal source of who we are versus this external shell that we were put in to learn our lessons or whatever the
Exactly.
hell is going on, why we're here, I don't know.
Exactly. And just to add it on to that, like, and at the end of the day, I know I'm privileged. Like, I know I'm privileged. I live in the United States, right? I was looking at an interview that NPR had did with one of the activists going on in Sudan, and it's her reality. And when she said these words, it really literally broke my heart, because that's not going to be my reality. I'm going to protest in a different way. But she said that what's going on in Sudan, that there is so much strife, violence, rape, all of this happening, that they're so far pushing the needle of change that they can't turn back now. And she said into the camera, and she's only 23, that if I have to die, and there's going to be many more people that die, as long as the next generations can have the freedoms that we did not have, it's worth the cause. And I had to stop and go, wow.
Like, it's wow.
Wow. Literally, wow.
Right.
And I believe that if we continue to just talk about our privileges that we currently have, like pretty privilege, thin privilege, you know, educational privilege, wealth privilege,
Water.
right?
Got water
If
and
we
food.
talk about those things, it makes us have to step back and humble ourselves and continue to have the conversation. Right? The other point of that making is I grew up in a sport where it's predominantly white. And it allowed me to access in areas that I probably would not have if I did not know how to swim, right? I was able to get a job without doing an interview. As soon as I finished volunteering, I've been able to be a director over a major 2 associations. I've been able to be trained in multiple aquatic certifications. I had an opportunity to go to a whole nother continent just to swim. Like, I mean, it is what it is. And I'm very blessed with that. And so my parents really taught us that volunteering and giving back to your community is A1, because everyone at the end of the day does not have what you're given. And it's your duty to make sure that you're bringing more people with you.
I love that. Raising them higher.
That's right.
Yeah. I always see leadership. Tell me if you see leadership this way.
Yeah.
As I see it as though like standing on the bottom, and then I see myself like this with a triangle of people, or even a square, it doesn't matter, but me raising them up, not me being as a leader on the top, but as a leader on the bottom, raising others up. You know, with your nonprofit, I see that that's kind of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
absolutely, and I'm not scared to say that I don't know it all, and I want smarter people around me all the time. And I mean, not just smarter people at higher level, but smarter people at lower levels, because that's where you're cultivating this world of innovation, this world of change. Because if all generations are talking to each other, we're constantly making change. We're pushing forth the needle of what we want to see in society. So we had an interesting conversation at my leadership about adaptive leadership, right? And pretty much I was saying I want to make sure I'm cultivating a team around me where they feel empowered to talk about what is not supposed to be the social norm, right? And break it. And I want to be able to be right there next to them to encourage them and support them in whatever way they see me fit to support them, to make sure that happens. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to die, and I want to make sure that the people behind me have a better world than it is currently today.
Right. So figure out the rules so you know where to break them and how to break them.
And do it with a smile.
And high heels, girl. Oh my God.
And maybe a little cocktail, a little 420.
Yeah. Here we are, baby. Okay. So now that you have entertained and entranced all these people, how can they find your businesses?
Yes, you can find both the Duncan Connection and Massage Fit on Instagram and Facebook. We also have a website. I have to shout out our fiscal sponsor for the Duncan Connection, Cascadia Now. They help out amazing projects, and they pretty much give us the wheels of legal backing so that we can go out and do the work and slowly learn how to create a nonprofit that can be independent without them or stay with them. So kudos to Cascadia Now.
Yay. Okay, so follow you, Duncan Connection, on Instagram and Facebook, and Massage Fit on both, just as Massage Fit.
I'll populate very quickly.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much. I love you. I want to hug. Oh, thank you. Our birthdays are coming up. Yes. Bye, everybody.
I was like, I don't know where super.